represent. Go, rest in peace.
Are we on now?
Yeah, we're on it. Oh shit, hold on a second.
Yeah, hold on, wait, we're starting?
This is Scissor Me Now. I'm Aaron Coe, and I'm with fucking Megan Nichols.
Christ, that dude.
Okay. I really have to ask this, because I remember the first time we talked on the phone, that story you told me about like you moving here for the first time, and just like being kind of upset that you were in the Midwest and just like going around and drinking like Jack and talking shit.
Yeah.
Is that a true story?
Well, yeah, that's how I got all my customers.
Dude, can you please tell the story, like, for real? Like,
So-
it's fucking awesome. This is the best motivational story. Like, whenever anyone starts, like, talking shit about, like, oh, I can't
find
it.
customers.
I can't get people. Like, no one, you know what I mean?
No one
I can't
talks to
get
me.
booked out. Like, I don't have any money. Like,
That's because you won't go talk to people, and it doesn't take any money. You can get free cards at Vistaprint for what is it, $20 for like 1,000 cards? I don't know.
yeah, and
But I know
what?
it's doable.
And guess what? The code every single time is Vista.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
literally.
So let's say 20%.
You know, that's the thing though. If someone if someone says I can't, you're already done. The whole point is that you don't tell yourself you can't. You fake that confidence, right? You go out and try to get it
Yeah.
as much as you can, even if you don't have the credentials, you don't have like the real confidence. You just have to start talking and start saying it, and hopefully it'll naturally start to come true. It just works out, right? So what you're talking about, and I feel like, gosh, isn't this what everyone does in a new city, right? Whether it's dating or trying to get your business together or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, you need to meet people. Our whole business is taking care of people. And I try to not let anybody forget about that all the time. I don't really give a shit what's happening with you. Your job is customer service, and of the highest level, because your customer service is making someone else
But you
feel
literally,
great about
like,
themselves, right?
I looked, like, when you told me the story, you told it in such a way where I was just picturing you as this crusader who basically would, like, go, like, you know what I mean, like, go get a bottle of Jack, and you went...
I drink Jameson,
You drink Jameson?
but same difference.
You
A bottle of Jameson.
Bottle of Jameson.
Every
and
fucking
you
night.
just went around the town and just started talking, you know what I mean?
I did, dude, and like, you know, I hope that I didn't. I know that I probably offended a couple people, because if I came up to you and said, "Hey, you want to get your hair cut?" and you're like, "I cut hair," and I'd be like, "Fuck you, next," like, you know, like I don't know, I was on a mission, just like you said.
It's
I hope I
awesome.
retell the story as cool as I did the first time, but basically, you know, I didn't have a child then, so, and I was a pretty heavy drinker anyway, so I did what I knew how to do. I always bartended before, and whilst I barbered, I always have bartended until I had a kid 5 years ago. But all I know how to do to make things happen, which is how I got into barbering in the first place, being drunk, right place, right time, met the right person, talked about barbering, now I'm a barber, right? That's it. Just because I was wasted and I had the fake confidence with that Jameson to say, you know what? Yeah, I'll fucking do it. I'll totally go. I'll let you teach me how to barber for free. Like, who gets that opportunity? But I had that, like, something, right? That's something that someone else saw, because I didn't let, you know, not having confidence get in the way. So that's it. I'd get wasted, because it takes me a lot of liquid courage to have the balls to go, like, up to strangers in the first place. I'm not, like, that awesome at it.
Where are these strangers? Like, at the grocery store, or just, like...
Grocery store always. Like, grocery store always. And I don't do this as much anymore, because I'm booked out, you know? I did my part of that, and I always am talking about it, but now I'm more so talking about it for my new barbers, because I want them to be booked out 2 weeks like I've always been. And it takes a lot of work. It takes me doing it. I don't mind helping. I want everybody to always be booked out. So grocery store, if you're at the grocery store, you never go up to, if he's with somebody, you never go up to the guy. You always go up to the girlfriend. So that, I learned that the hard way, right? Going up to dudes like, "Hey, what's up? You want my card?" And then the chick would walk up and be like, "Fuck off," you know? So when at the grocery store, if you see a bad neckline, which is how you find your customers, like, "Shitty neckline, bro, you need a new barber," and I got you, right? I always go up, if I make sure I'll stalk them for a second, make sure there's not a lady. I'll say, "Hey, if your boyfriend, husband, your friend's looking for another barber, here's my card. Like, you can come too, it's really fun. We have some games, pool table, come have a beer," right? You guys come together, so invite the significant other and then take care of him. You win every time, and that's a customer for life, because that girl is now gonna say, "Yo, you need a haircut, like every 2 weeks, right? Whenever she sees what she would normally have to take care of.
Yeah, it's like the nagging
she's gonna
haircut.
want, yeah, dude, she's gonna want to hang out. So that's, I think, is like a big thing that I'll still do that every once in a while.
Oh, you still rock it? That's amazing.
Dude, I always am handing out cards. Like, you can't even get in here. Every bad Yelp review is pissed because they're like, fuck those guys, you can't get in there. But I don't think you can ever have enough customers because, like, everyone has a bad day. Sometimes you don't mix well with people. There's always going to be a time that you lose someone. You always need to have backups.
God.
So, but, you know, at the bars, man, I would literally go out every night. I'd have 2 fat 52 deck cards of my personal cards in my back pockets, and I literally walk up to every single person, even if it was a girl, like, yo, you have a boyfriend, a husband, grandfather, uncle, brother, anybody, dude, here's my card, come hang out, you should come hang out at the shop too, and if you ever want to get your hair cut short, I'm your girl, you know? I go up to every single dude.
Did you even have union at this time?
No, this is when I worked at a Southtown Barbershop, which is my, you know, my first home here. A guy, you know, there'd never been a girl that worked there, and like they're pretty standoffish about it, but they gave me a chance and hired me, and because of that place, and having like a cool platform to bring all these people, because then I was like, I mean, I am at a really cool old school barbershop. People was starting to want that, you know, 5 years ago. Again,
well, that's the thing, is like men's grooming just started becoming cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, so
I think it was like 10 years ago, 11 years ago when like I first started, you know, you really had to fight to get people to be okay with coming to the barbershop because they were so used to getting that old school shit haircut. And then to be a barbershop with some girls in it to get the guys to let the girls cut their hair. We kind of had to fight for that too a little bit, but now, man, it's
Do you guys do straight razor shaves?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so that's what I was talking about the other day, because like I was talking with someone else on the podcast about the origin of like how men became comfortable in the industry, and it just sort of like hit me a little bit, just like, okay, remember those really like shitty like mall art of shave places?
Yeah,
And like how like you would actually see men in there like paying like $70 for a straight razor shave,
right?
But then like afterwards when it's done, they don't feel good because they're like, fuck, I'm still at the mall. You know what I mean?
Dude, and do you ever notice that those storefronts, people are watching you? It's always in front of a window,
it's like
towards the inside of the store, and people are literally watching you. Like, bro, this is a private sanctuary.
Yeah.
Everyone is welcome, but when you're in here, this is like, you're in your own little zone, you get privacy. You know, like if we're doing a shave, it's like just a known thing. We're pretty loud. We have crazy conversations. We talk sex, politics, race, religion, all fucking day, because we can, and why not?
Because it's life, bitch.
Yeah, dude, because this is the shit that's going on, and we have such a big group of people here that it's nice. It's just nice to be able to have a platform to talk about real shit and not just talk about, oh, the weather's nice outside, to like try to forget that there's so much real shit
That's
going on.
right. Fuck you, weather.
Yeah, dude. So I actually want to get a sign, because most barbershops have a sign that says, we do not talk about race. I want to be like, please bring it up. So if you have a shitty idea, we can tell you how dumb you are. You know? Like, let me know if you're an idiot, because we all want to fucking tell you, you know?
Oh, that's amazing.
So, I was going to say it's a little, like, just a known rule that when someone is getting a straight razor shave, as soon as that chair lays back, everyone kind of lowers it down a little bit, because that's your time. You're going to go to sleep. This is a nice, relaxing thing, and it's not like the old school days. Everyone doesn't get a shave every couple days. This is like bucket list shit. Getting a shave is like someone's bucket list. Like I just went to Pizza Hut. I talked to the owner, and he was like, "Migs, I really want to get a shave. I do it myself, but I just want that." It's a relaxing. It's like the time that there's very little things that men get to do for themselves relaxing. Most men don't get pedicures all the time. Most men don't get their hair cut all the time. So that time where they're in here, especially during the straight razor shave, is a very private, quiet time.
It is kind of
so it lowers down. If you see it's kind of quiet in here, there's probably someone getting a shave.
Yeah, because it's like the ultimate treatment for a man.
Ultimate.
So like that's where I figured where it all started, because like you go back up to Portland, they have this shit called the Modern Man. That all like imploded and everything.
Bummer.
But
yeah,
then,
that guy
like,
sucks. Or that,
you know what
are we allowed to say that? Sorry. It's the same thing as a sports clips, right?
Well, I mean the Modern Man.
Yeah.
Well, they like actually. Well, here's their thing. So they have like the straight razor shave, because I was thinking that was the #1 thing that made men feel comfortable in the industry, right? Then they would serve them the alcohol.
Yeah.
Good idea. And then
Playboys.
Exactly.
A couple cute girls barbering now and then. That's kind of fucking cool. I think the boys like that.
Yeah, exactly. You know? No, they love it. And then what's supplementary after that? Getting a haircut.
Yeah.
The haircut was almost the secondary service. The only thing that they did is that they just sort of like stopped paying their employees, and we all know what happens when you do that.
Yeah, I don't know about those people. I hear a lot of bad stuff though.
Well,
This story, I never really heard why, but I hear the name and I automatically think
listen, I'm not gonna say any direct shit, but I'm gonna say the results speak for themselves.
Yeah.
That's why Portland does have
Like
approximately I mean, they have all of them.
Like all kinds of Brad shops, right?
You name it, Rooks, Dillinger's, brick and mortar, Throne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say Rooks only. What's up, Justin? You just came and guest spotted here a little bit ago. It was dope. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, all of us here have a great appreciation for Rooks, and especially what he does. He has 4, going on 5 barbershops. It's incredible. That's like something.
Do you know
somebody
Rooks,
that
do
I
you
look
know
up
Rooks
to.
cutters?
You know what? I don't know almost any of them. Just through Instagram, like you said. Like people always supportive. Like I follow, I think a ton of guys,
like Kinsey
females
Lee.
that cut there, and just give my support through Instagram because they're awesome. But we were lucky enough to have the owner come and cut with us for a couple days, and that was incredible. And I got to talk. I mean, I talked his ear off, man. I felt bad because I was talking business, and I even was like, dude, sorry I talked so much business. He was like, no, that's what we're fucking here to do, I wish I would have talked more and not been, I always feel bad about it because I never have anything to talk about anybody about except my business, running this, cutting better hair, doing better, making it better for everybody. So, building up the standard.
First of all, I love just the very fact that like you went out loaded with cards like every single night.
Dude, I still have I didn't flip out because I just went to Foot Locker. While I'm in line at Foot Locker, I got 3 customers and got 2 customers for my husband's tattoo shop. You know what I mean? Like I am always selling.
All right, so
always be closing,
here's the deal. Like so I follow the same principle because like even in Kansas City, I'm at the grocery store and some lady like taps me on the shoulder and she's like angry. She's like, "Where have you been?" And I'm just like, I'm just like, "Oh, Sheila." She's just like, "Mm-hmm. So where have you been?" And I'm just like, "I've just been traveling like all over." She's like, "Well, I need some new scissors."
Nice.
And I'm just like, "I have some in my truck. If you just want to hang out for a second." She's like, "Okay."
Yep.
She's like super impatiently waiting.
Yeah.
And then there's a sale like right there.
I love it.
And it's just crazy because like the scissors that I'm selling, a lot of them don't even happen in the salon anymore. It's just random.
I love it.
It's like guys now will just be like, I want to like trim up like my mustache or like do some shit with my facial hair. Now all my tiny little 5-inch scissors, boom, just like selling them.
You know what? I don't care where you are. If you do it yourself or you're at work, it's nice to have a nice tool. The right tool makes everything easier,
Yeah, with anything.
Even if you're not a professional.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Which is why there's so many weird Japanese inventions in Sky Mall. You know what I mean?
I love Sky Mall. That's like the reason I like flying, just looking at that stupid magazine.
Is Sky Mall even still in existence?
Oh, it's still a thing. It's probably called something different. It's still there.
It's something different, but it's still
They
around.
rename it every once in a while.
Oh, it's fucking crazy. No, because like the way that I started my business was like, I just wanted to take a road trip like around America. That was my only goal. But then I had the scissors that I designed. Like I started off with.
Does anybody correct you that you call them scissors and not shears?
All the time.
Oh, okay, good. I won't be that fucking annoying person.
All the time, and like it's.
We always mess with like all the other reps. Like stop calling them scissors.
It's just like.
Don't try to sell us if you.
It's like my rebellious like sort of like thing.
I love it.
Because
I'll
like.
leave you alone then.
Because here's the thing: is like, I might call them scissors, but then once I start talking about hair. You know that like I'm not.
You switch them to
I'm not fucking around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm actually like talking about like how this is gonna apply and like how it's gonna work and shit. And that's when people get really thrown off because they'll see my hands in the actual shears and how I'm moving, and they're like, "Fuck, why does he have better technique than I do?"
Do you cut hair?
So it's like a reverse thing. Now I can cut hair.
Yeah.
And because like I've practiced the technique so much, I know exactly what I'm looking for. By the way, I saw one of your clips on Instagram, in which you were doing a scissor over comb, and I don't know what you call that particular style, but some people when they cut, do you notice like when they cut really hard? It's almost kind of like whack, whack.
Yeah,
whack,
I
whack,
barely.
whack.
Oh, I'm more like doing a squat. As soon as you hit, you come back up, right?
Yeah, you're very like Muhammad Ali about it.
Oh,
it's
cool,
like
thank
you
you.
sort of like float, And
Yeah,
then,
you're supposed to.
Yeah, you really just.
Well,
float
everything's
over the
always
hair.
supposed to be moving, right? So if you went all the way down almost, then you'd be stopping. It's supposed to be that's how you get. That's how shear over comb is flawless, because you just never stop. The shear in the comb never stops. So I guess maybe naturally. Who knows though? I might be doing it wrong. But you know, you go with what feels natural and like.
No,
you
like,
just
because
do it.
I've seen a lot of technique, and like you.
But chomping, if you are closing like that, you will get some sort of a chomp.
You'll bite the hair
look,
harder.
right? You have to.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like.
I would think. I don't know.
Oh, well, you know, I guess like if we talk scissor technique just like a little bit, like what I start to like notice with like different levels of like people who know how to cut is there's people that cut really hard, right? And you can see it. But then there's people who just
I assume you can, yeah.
yeah, and then there's people who cut like a little bit softer.
And it's nothing.
Exactly. And
Which is the whole point of the technique.
yes.
Is to get everything, any type of.
And I think the tool I can relate it to the most is with texturizers. Like you don't want to be going like whom 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 whom. You almost want to really just sort of float through.
Yeah, I still am not. You know, when I was taught by my mentor how to barber, Patty Davenport, the most amazing barber in the whole world. She's in Australia now. We weren't allowed to use texturizing shears. It was not welcome.
What year
at the
was
shop.
this?
2007.
Okay, first of all, by this point,
2006,
texturizers have already
2007.
their reputation's already been fucking ruined.
Yeah, but it's just because people have misused. That's all.
Oh, and the
But I'm sure they're great. I just am so used to using either a straight razor to create texture or my feather razor to create texture.
right.
That like I just didn't have room for it, because like I am kind of an old man in that, right? I think a lot of barbers are, dude. As soon as I have my base of how I cut hair,
Right.
it's so hard to veer off. Yeah, I'm always trying different shapes and techniques within the haircut. Those tools that I use, they never really like vary, you know what I mean? I have like these 4 or 5 things, and now like there's a couple of
Right.
like Wall is putting out some cordless trimmers and clippers, and I'm just like, these are awesome. And I always was like, never gonna use cordless, it's not as powerful, but
Right.
there is some amazing technology coming out. But other than that, it's hard to even, because I have one of your thinning shears,
Yeah.
texturizing shears, if you will. And I try I even have them out. I'll show you I have them out. I'll never put them away now, because I love you and I love your company, so I'm always trying to like support, and I'm always trying to like, if it were to come up that I needed them, I would use them, but it just never fucking comes up. And I think I took a class actually to learn how to use them properly, and that whole class ended up being a sales pitch, and I didn't hear one fucking thing about how to use a texturizing shear. So I was pissed, because I'm like, dude, I literally have been pumped to hear about this, but
Okay.
I just want to be taught how to use them. Maybe then I'd be able to use them.
All right. How about this?
properly.
What's the best class that like you ever went to? Or is there even one?
I did a competition. Honestly, I guess like nothing really sticks out, because ever since I've been, and this is through nobody's fault of my own. I'm just busy. I opened a business, so
No, but this
I don't
is
have a lot of time to go.
But this is a huge industry problem.
It's huge. Well, it is huge, and I go to classes all the time, but they're never like what I was hoping for. And maybe I'm asking for too much, and maybe I'm not going to the right classes. Though I guess the classes that I like is where, and this is an ego thing, I would assume, is that where someone looks at me and says, hey, can I show you something, like personally? So it's
Sure.
one-on-one, because these classes are not very one-on-one. It's just, you know, it is what it is. You don't really feel like you're being kind of talked to, I guess. That might sound weird, but the classes that I always like are the ones where someone like spots me out and it's like, hey, you look like more interested in the rest, like, can I show you something secret? Because I get what you're showing me on stage. I know all that shit.
Right.
Like, I get it. We're all doing the same shit. Like, let's be honest. Like, a lot of people educating, we're all doing the same thing. And like, everyone's educating now. Everyone's trying to teach everybody what they know. So hopefully we're all in the kind of same playing field.
Right.
But I want those secrets. I want those things where you give me something and then I can get to the next level and kind of make it my own. So there was a class where a couple like Anthony the barber was there, and Justin, I don't think his name's Justin the barber, I forget his last name, but they're Hanzo educators, and he had showed me a couple different slide cutting techniques, and that really stood out, because that was something that I needed. It was more of a women's hairstylist
Right.
technique, and I need that type of stuff. I'm trying to put the long hair cutting with my clipper work, so I can create really amazing really amazing haircuts, and that's the type of stuff I need. But he was nice enough to, I don't know if he just saw that I looked, and I don't ever look bored, I always try to look interested. I really respect anyone who's ever giving me information. That's the hugest thing, like, thanks for your time. But he was like, hey, you look like, you know, here's some extra shit. So that was like incredible. But I have to be honest, every time I go to a class these days, it is a sales pitch. Garland, he's a barber for Wall. Wall just filmed a video. They did like their international video, and I got to cut with him for the video, and he taught me some next level shit. So education's great, but where you're gonna really learn stuff is one-on-one with another barber, meeting people, which is why I try so hard to meet people, so that's how I'm gonna learn.
And I think that really
just me, you know?
is like, well, I don't think it is just you, because like from my own experience with
I don't want to be rude. I love the people that educate. It's great. I just haven't been learning a lot lately, you know?
Well, here's the thing, Megan, is like the fundamental flaw of teaching like something as difficult as cutting hair is that it is a very one-on-one sort of thing, right? And when you try to teach this to a whole class, there's so much confusion. People were brought up cutting in such different ways that like by the very time that you get through the first step of like 5 steps, it's already been an hour.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Because once again,
whenever I teach a class, I'm like, it's only going to be 2 hours, and 3 hours later, you know, you're done.
Yeah, and no one's on the same page. And I think like, you know, to even go like further with this, I think one of the things that the industry struggles with in general is that we don't have a lot of very good communicators, right?
Yeah.
Because I see so many people like going to classes, and then they'll come back, and I'll ask people, what did you learn? And the only thing they'll bring back for the most part is a selfie of like whoever was educating. You know what I mean? And just like post it on their like social media and like just like tag like all the brands and whatever. And you know, like so one of the biggest trends that's happening right now, like outside of the barber world, is like, let's say like balayage, right? And so when people go to a balayage class, it's like when you look at their work before and after, like on Instagram, what difference do you really see? You don't see.
I'm all trying to whisper in the microphone. It's the same, right? It's not. Well, and okay, so here's on that note. What if it's because, and this is what I try to do here, because I do every person who barbers, every barber who comes through here, lots don't make it. It is very intense training because I want everyone to be on the same
You run
level,
a fucking
right?
tight ship.
We run a tight ship. And I don't want a lot of bad haircuts coming out here, so I really do care about the education. I might not have to be the best educator, but I'm really learning the past year and a half on how to get better at that myself. Anyway, everyone goes through education here. I think a big deal is that every day you kind of work on something. So these classes, it can't be, here's how you do a haircut. Here's how you do a haircut. We get how to do a fucking haircut. We're all doing fucking haircuts. Let's take one piece of that haircut. What tool are you going to use? Or what type of technique are you going to use? Let's take, for instance, slide cutting. That whole class should be slide cutting, that whole haircut, so everyone can see it done 1,000 ways, because that's how people learn. You see it done, and you go home and you take it on for yourself and find how that fits into your hair cutting, where you can use it. Oh, that's how I used it there. Oh, I could. We're all creative minds, right? We're doing whatever you think hair cutting is. It's artistic. It's, if you're on that level, it's a craft and it's artistic, and we're gonna have to like take it for ourselves, right? We take a technique and turn it into our own and use it how it fits for us. So that's why things are wrong. You know, we have to really like take a little section, really like tear that little technique apart, then we'll know it, and then we can use it.
I was joking with someone like over just at Notch a second ago about how like I just flowed them some new tools, and they're trying them out for the first time, and like the technique that they were doing was transitioning from point cutting to going into scissor over comb and just checking the evenness of it. But the eyes, you can tell when someone enters like the hair matrix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they're just like locked into trying to focus exactly like what's going on. And that's how I can tell that like hair is a very, very creative form.
It is creative.
Because when people get into that mode where they're just like completely locked in and just like, oh shit, you know, they're seriously trying to figure out the technique and how it's working, so on and so forth. Because I do see a lot of like sort of like lazy work out there.
A lot of it. Not everybody cares. In any field. Not everybody cares.
This is true.
And that's the difference, like, here at Union Barbershop. You don't care, get out. This is about taking care of the people and making everyone else feel good. So if you can't feel good about yourself and want to do the best work, how are you going to make someone else feel good?
No, it's entirely true. And I guess like the same philosophy always went for like moto. Like my story like started off with like me wanting to like go road trip and shit. And then I think I had like 15 scissors. I only had 2 models, and one of them was a 6 and one of them was a 5.5. I had the dumbest like inventory of like all time.
Yeah, what it was, right?
And I was just like, you know what?
Did you get rid of them?
I sold everything.
Sweet.
In Portland alone.
Nice.
And then like
before you even left on your trip?
I started in Seattle, went to Portland, and like in my head I was just thinking, how on earth am I gonna sell, like, what if someone wants a 7? What am I gonna do? Like,
sell them a 6.
Exactly.
Say it's pretty damn close.
Well, then I started like taking people from 7 down to like 5.5. You know what I mean? Like it was so wild.
And you have 7s now?
Oh yeah, now I have like 7.5. I have everything now.
You got 8s?
Yeah, I actually do.
Man, I have to try those. You got some on you?
I actually do.
You should let me clean up your hair with them.
I know my hair. So I've been cutting into my hair for like over like.
Are you growing it out?
A month and a half. No, I just haven't cut into my hair.
You want me to clean it up, or just like texturize it a little more? What?
No, my neck hair on the back.
Yeah, you need a neck shave for sure, dude. Your fucking hair's going in your ears right now.
No, I know.
It's not bothering me.
No, it's
like the tiniest bit.
No, it's hilarious because I see myself and like
your hair's awesome. Like more texture would look fucking awesome.
I'll put on a hat and then I'll actually see like it can't tuck.
Yeah, just so you cut into it a little bit. All right, we'll do that when we're done.
But then like I kept just going along and along and along until eventually it got to that point where it never sold out. But then here's the crazy part: I would only be in towns for like 2 to 3 days, and people were like, "Well, I want to try this shit out for like a week," and I was just like, "Well, I was like, well, fuck. If they don't like it, then I don't know what to do, because like they're gonna be stuck with the scissor." And it never occurred to me during. I had no system of like they're gonna mail it back to me, like because I don't know what to do. So then like it just turned into this thing where like my first payment plan system was giving away my bank account number, and they can't do anything without the social.
But they can put money into it.
But they can put money into it. But people were just so blown away. They'd be like, "Oh my God, you trust me?"
Yeah.
And then just as like a joke on myself, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna check up on these people and see what happens. Consistently.
Yeah, I've given you my bank account. I don't think you've charged me yet. And I like literally, send Aaron a text and tell him that he keeps forgetting to charge you. And then like obviously I'm not like, it's easy to forget about someone not charging you for something, but like the fact that I remember I was looking at Instagram one night and I was all pumped up on Instagram because I put a picture on there that people actually liked for fucking once,
Yes.
And then I fucking huge. So stupid. But then I saw your page and I was like all over it. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna DM him because like fuck it. What if he doesn't want to send me a pair? But what if he does? You don't live here, so I really wanted to try him, right? And like I remember I DM'd you. We talked to each other instantly, like on phone. I think we were like,
instantly.
Hey. I was like, you're like, are you busy? I was like, nope. We talked on the phone. You sent me out a package. I got him the next day with the texturizing shears. Thank you. And I love them. And everyone was curious. Like, everyone was like, what's up with the thumb grip? Why is it open? And it was, like, weird at first to me. And then, like, the next day I used another pair of shears without the opening.
Yeah.
The ergonomical kind of, like, thumb rest. And I didn't like it. So I went back to the Moto ones. And then I couldn't give them back. Because I was like, you were like, here, try these out. I'm like, well, I can't fucking send those back. I love them. I do love your shears. I think they're awesome.
Here's what I see on Instagram a lot. And you tell me if I'm wrong. Whenever I see like people's like pages and stuff, a lot of times I just see like for example if people do like unicorn hair and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I just see unicorn hair, it's like there's no variation in like what they do.
Yeah.
And so then I'm just like, this just seems so odd that they would only post like one thing, right?
Yeah, I feel like I do that too. Yeah, it's like hard to like not post the same shit, like a skin fade every fucking day, all day,
So that's why like I don't know, like I know what I'm doing is like succeeding at like a minor level, but like if you look at my page, it just
definitely a collage of stuff.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a bunch of unrelated shit.
Yeah.
But if you actually click on it, everything I try to write is like well thought out as like possible.
You're very thorough with
or like why I'm making
Right.
like this particular post or doing like this like particular thing.
I think at some point too, I was told when I first started Instagram, they're like, you have to look, somebody needs to go on your page and know, okay, that's Megan the Barber's page.
Right.
So I remember doing that, like, well, I like everything black and white. Like, literally, I only wear black and white. Like, everything, I mean, I'm not joking right now. I literally have, you know, I just like, it's just what I like. I feel comfortable, I feel good in those colors. You can see a lot of my stuff is black and white in here. I love that aesthetic of old black and white. So I made my page
That's
black and
exactly
white.
what I'm wearing.
I know.
Yeah.
Except for your bomb-ass gold Union shirt.
Yeah, I know.
So that's why I did that, but to relate to what you were saying, it's because I think somewhere along the line, everyone's like, you gotta just do this one thing, and that's what you'll be good at, and you show that. But it's like, and I remember doing that too, but I don't think it's really true. Like,
No,
I don't
'cause
think you have to do one thing.
Because I think what happens is like I'm starting to notice it more. Like people are getting typecasted
Yeah,
a lot,
totally.
all the time.
When you want to be able to not let, we want to show people your range and show them, like, I love posting like a long haircut every once in a while. So you're like, look, I do a long haircut. I totally suck at designs, but I'm trying, you know? Like, I do skin fades all day long, but here's like a different shape of a skin fade. So yeah, try to
Right.
mix it up. It's hard to mix it up. It's hard to take, you're doing like 13 haircuts a day and like an 8-hour day. It's hard to take a picture, for God's sakes. Like, it's hard to keep up with Instagram. I do dream that one day Instagram crashes and we just like get a break for a couple weeks. I like can't wait for that to happen.
I know, it's like
Please happen.
it's like
As long as my booking system doesn't go down, I'm awesome.
I would actually, you know,
People would still walk in. We'd probably still be
I
okay.
would fucking love to see
It would be
that.
awesome. It would make my week. I'd have like so much more time on my hands and not be so stressed out that you're
Let
fucking
me ask
looking
you
cool
this,
to
because
everybody,
like
you know?
I feel comfortable asking you this question.
You should feel comfortable asking me any question. We're buddies now, dude. Bring it on.
What's your end game with hair?
My end game? I mean, every day I change my mind about what I want to do. Right now, I finally, you know, I wanted to become a barber. No, I didn't. I got asked if I wanted to cut hair, and it ended up being something that I am in love with, right? And now I own a barbershop, and I'm trying to make some things.
How long have you had union for?
It's only been a year and a half. I started, well, in October.
Jesus Christ.
October it'll be 2 years, and the end of September I'm here by myself, cutting hair, taking care of my old dudes, my clientele, so they didn't leave me. I'm trying to open up a shop, and I'm out for 2 weeks getting this place done and decorated. So I'm here by myself, and then I started having barbers come in, and now we're at almost 2 years. I have 8 chairs now, 6 barbers. Like, it's just, it's a dream come true. You know, hard work, luck is incredible, you know? So now I'm very much into the education game. You know, I've done a couple classes for salons here in St. Louis. I get asked pretty frequently, which makes me feel really good that people want to come watch or they want to be taught. So I'm really grateful for that, and I want to get better. So I really do a lot of studying on proper verbiage, like you were saying. I want to have the proper verbiage that should be how we're all talking, our barber lingo per sections, per techniques and stuff, right? So I'm really studying on that so I don't sound like a fool making up shit as I go. And that education, like I said earlier, is very important here. I think the end game is that I'm always constantly educating people to at least get them where I am, because I'm not the best. I'm not even close to the best, but I know that I am consistent, and I work really hard to make sure everything is perfectly, you know, that each technique, it's not very many, you know, shear over comb, my clipper over comb, everything is that I'm able to do that freehand. Old school technique, I do it well. And hopefully combining those, I can give you a really good haircut. I just want each person that I work around to be able to know those 3 or 4 techniques, then they can build upon those and create their own style and become their own person, their own barber. So I think my end game is having a couple union barbershops, doing all the education, watching these barbers be able to open their own union barbershop, have their own slice of the pie, then be able to start educating people, and through that pyramid scheme that I'm teaching you, he's teaching him, we're all teaching from this really great base of education, a really simple, old school method of barbering education, that there won't be so many shitty haircuts. There won't be a ton of cost cutters left. There won't be a bunch of modern mans left, right? It'll be small business, barbershops, how it was a long time ago, how it's supposed to be, people who really love this, who really give a shit, who really care, who eat, sleep, breathe this every day, like I do.
Do you like doing this out of Missouri, or is there like as an ideal location?
I would do it anywhere that anybody would let me cut their hair. I think it's ideal for me because being from California, being from the West Coast, and how saturated it is there.
Yeah.
Like, and you can call me kind of a pussy, I guess, but like, it's easy here. Every chick there's some cute little blonde, tattooed, hot chick cutting hair, right? Not a billion here. There's not a ton here, you know what I mean? So like, I can stand out here, whereas in California, I'm like a fucking 2, right? I feel like an 8 here. So like, I have more confidence here.
It's so funny. It's almost like a fucking porn genre or something.
Well, it is what it is, right?
It is. Yeah,
I mean, I have more confidence here. It's less competition here. Union Barbershop would do well anywhere. I know that because I put in the hard work to make that true, but it does really well here. And it's like, you know, we're in the Midwest. Like, the stereotype is true. The Midwest is like the last to get cool shit, man. It is what it is. Like, when I first moved out here, I was like, I told you, I cried for a week. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I hate, like, this is so weird to be living in the middle of the country and like the Bible racist belt. Everything I hate about everything. Like, that's what burned me. But then I was like, no. Dude, that's it. I'll go against everything, right? Have that barbershop that has every color person and welcomes every color, type, gender person, right? Like, do something where it's like a little more radical, because like not everybody's doing that, right? It's a little segregated here when I like still is. It's the worst, right?
First of all, I love the fucking culture that you're bringing in.
Yeah, dude. Culture, you said it. I'm just trying to create an open-minded, talk about whatever you want. We're honor, respect. We're respectful. We're very polite. Unless you're an asshole, then we'll be rude to you.
Yeah.
Bad, wrong ideals, then everyone's going to tell you. But bringing a culture here, because there's not that huge of a culture here. Like, a lot of cities, especially on the coast, have their cultures. New York's and the Californias and the Portland's has a rad culture, but
right.
We're like creating the culture here, and I think we've created it, and we're still doing a good job at teaching people like, yo, this is what you should expect. This is the bare minimum. Like, anything less than this, don't accept that. Don't accept it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, I found out about something really strange the other day from my girl Mindy over on in Kansas City. I couldn't believe it when I heard it either. Like, have you ever heard of a sundown town?
A sundown town?
Yeah.
Oh wait, is it like it's weird at sundown?
It's like there's towns like not just around this area.
Like in Arkansas, I think there's one.
Like all over America.
Okay.
Where like they're like regulated and enforced like differently.
Okay.
But it's basically like by the time like the sun goes down in certain towns, like all black people have to be out of the town.
Oh my god, I did not even fucking think you were going. I had no idea you were gonna say that. Absolutely, no, I've never fucking heard of that. I thought you were talking about like a vibe.
No,
like there's a town in Arkansas that's like, the girl was like, I was like, this town sucks until I came back at night. She's like, that's because it's like all about the vibe at night. I thought that's what you were gonna talk about.
No, I was.
That's crazy.
I was so.
No, I haven't heard of that shit. I would flip. I wouldn't even be in a city like that.
Well,
ever. I would leave immediately.
That's what I mean. Is like so like
Where the fuck is that at? Tell me where they're at so we can mark them and never go there.
Oh my god.
Dude, our world is insane.
There's a lot in
Well,
there's
it's crazy.
There's quite a bit in Missouri.
That's insane.
It is insane.
I can't even believe that that's something that's even like it's not in a fucking movie.
That it's like still a thing, right?
That blows my brain.
And well,
blows my brain out.
you know, there's actually, I mean, there's a big one in Texas. It's called Vidor, and I used to drive through it like all the time, thinking it was like nothing, and I'm just like, oh my god, you know.
Was there fucking signs out? How do you what?
So it's just like.
So if you have darker color skin, anything other than white, you can't be out.
I think it's more specifically targeted
like,
towards black.
Almost feel like you're gonna say like just joking, just saying something weird.
No, because like,
crazy.
so here's the thing: is so like my client Mindy, she was disowned by her family for a couple of years for actually like like being engaged and like married to a black dude, right?
Yeah. Totally
chill, and
that's real. That happens to a lot.
Yeah. And he has families that live in like sundown towns, and they have like they work in the town, and after they're done, like just depends when time the sun goes down. But whenever it does, they gotta be fully out, and every town like enforces it like differently.
Crazy.
So like once I heard about that, it changed the way that I completely thought about
How do you know this is on?
Huh?
Is this on? Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
I just realized there was no blade on it.
Check. Yeah.
I can't believe.
I'm just
I
kidding.
can't believe that. I'm sorry to interrupt your story. That was.
No, well, here's the thing. It should impact you like that.
Oh, it's a bummer.
Because like the first time that I heard about it, I was so blown away.
Yeah.
Because then I look at, places like Kansas City, and then I look at places like, St. Louis, and I see a lot of people actively trying to bring culture and distribute culture like within the city, which I think is awesome. And I think that the beauty industry has just always been this awesome like safe haven, could you imagine like even now, like if you were gay and like, you know what I mean, like your family's gonna disown you, your friends are gonna fuck with you, someone might kill you.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like
it's really hard.
You have nowhere to turn, but like the beauty industry will take you with loving arms every single time. And that's probably one of my favorite qualities about it, is that the beauty industry has no motivation to exile people.
No, never. And I think a lot of us are like, I post stuff on our Instagram page all day, every day, like race, gender, whatever.
I can't
You're
even
all
think
welcome.
about like what you would have to do to be seriously banned from the beauty industry.
No, just like really drunk and out of control where you can't. That's the only person that ever gets kicked out of here. Like, come on, you've been drinking all night and you can't keep your head still and you want a straight razor shave. I can't do it. That's it. Like, that's literally the only thing. Or if you say something hateful about the people that we're talking about right now, that not accepting of stuff.
Yeah, if there's
then,
some weird racist barber.
dude, no, we want everybody. And maybe it's selfish. Maybe we're just like, dude, we'll cut anybody's hair. But I think, I don't know. I hope a lot of us in this industry, it's all about being, making people feel good about themselves. And part of making people feel good about themselves is accepting them for whoever they are.
And you know
so if you really care about that, you'll never make someone feel shitty about who they really are. And you'll let them talk about it. Be open about it, Feel safe here to talk about what you want to talk about. It's fine.
That's also another one of my favorite things about the beauty industry as well, is like you take the most intelligent person out there and you have them come to a barbershop, immediately the first thing they do, they surrender. They're not going to tell you like what to do or how to do your they
trust you.
Yeah, they
do whatever you want.
They put their
a couple boundaries and you go for it.
They want a straight razor shave. They put like the blade in your hand and their trust. And it's amazing.
What other job do you go to that in the first 3 seconds, literally almost 90% of the people go, just please stop talking to me. I trust you. I trust you. Just go.
Yeah, I can't think of another one.
There is no other one. It's the weirdest shit ever. I'll literally just meet you. You sit in my chair. I saw a picture that you did a good job one time. Go for it. Don't even talk to me. That happens all day, every day. That's like it's the best feeling too. Like the people trust you. I'm a pretty trustworthy chick. Back in the day I probably wasn't, but it's like, man, you don't know me. Like, I could totally screw your hair up right now, but I won't, and you can tell that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can relate because years like 1 through like 3, nobody knew who Moto was.
Yeah.
Because I never gave them a reason to.
Yeah.
I was literally just some dude who was wildly traveling the entire country like in a truck and just like selling scissors to like everybody.
Yeah.
And then like years like 4, 5, and 6, everything changed. Like in other words, like just going to like Notch like right now.
You put yourself out there too, right? You have to put yourself out there.
Oh.
And a lot of people are afraid to do that.
The amount in like quantities and times that I've humiliated myself, I can't even feel that emotion anymore.
No, who cares? It's
like,
hard to be you these days. It's the same thing we've been talking about. It's really hard to be you because we're all supposed to be this perfect Instagram character, supposed to be sexy all the time. We're supposed to be the best and cut the best hair, but like that's not, it's not real. None of us are as cute as the Instagram pictures. None of our haircuts are as perfect all the way around as that one little quarter section that you show on Instagram, right? I mean, I try really hard to be, and I'm sure a lot of us are very perfect, but a lot of us are using hair fillers to make our haircuts look better. And not saying that that's not about, it's what your customer wants, right? But not everyone's perfect, and that's one haircut out of your day. It's not like every haircut was the most amazing. It's not every person that comes in is a model, right? But like, we're trying really hard. It's hard to be yourself these days. You can't feel bad about making mistakes because like, everyone only gets to fake see the good thing, like the couple good things you do every day. No one shows their mistakes anymore. It's almost like you feel embarrassed to be yourself because it's not okay to be yourself anymore. You have to be this perfect little character all the time, and who the fuck? Which is why I want Instagram to go away for a damn week. Would be awesome. Like, it can be perfect all the time.
It's really like.
It's okay to show your ass too, man. It's like it's like a good thing to show your ass and be like, feel like, hey, I'm gonna go out on a limb. No one goes out on a limb anymore.
I know.
You
I just.
It's okay.
And
it's just so easy to be embarrassed these days because everyone's looking at you with their lip fucking curled, right? Like, oh, you're not perfect. I'm gonna judge you. Everyone's very judgy.
Look, I mooned someone a week ago.
I love it. Like, yeah, you travel a lot. I like, if I go on a road trip, I'm showing my ass to some, like, family. I love, don't you love, have you mooned someone in a car lately? I haven't done it in a long time.
Ago.
Yeah, amazing. I might try that soon because that's fun, dude.
You know what? Like, I remember.
There's, like, kids in the back seat, so.
Okay, so my mom's really Catholic. And I used to, so when I was living in Louisiana, it's like, woman's like, oh, like, I don't have a payment for you. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. I'll just see you next week. And then she's like, wait, come back. And then just, like, pulls, like, this crisp $100 bill, like, out of her wallet. And she was like, I was saving this for church, but you've been such a nice gentleman that you can have this. And then, like, I was just like, oh, all right, thanks for the payment. So she gives me $100.
Nice.
And she's like, and she, like, whispers to me, this is God's money. And, like, where's the first place I go to afterwards?
Strip club.
Casino.
Oh.
So I go to casino, and I only play one game. I play roulette. I recently was banned from playing roulette for 6 months in all of America.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think you said a snippet of that story.
Yeah, the ban's been lifted.
Nice. You're back.
So now I'm back.
Sweet.
So, but like back then I had the $100, and I remember just looking at it, just being like, God's money, and just like throwing it on the table.
And you won?
Well, so yeah, then I get like, you know what I mean, $100 in chips. And then, you know, I'm just like fucking around, just like playing around, and then like I think I make like $200. And then like I just like ask like the person, can you take a picture of me just like fanning my money out? And then like I send it to my mom and I tell her the story about how like I took some woman's church money and like tripled it. Like, and she's just like, shame on you.
Yeah. It's so silly. At least you got payment though.
I know, right? And then like not only that, but like I turned God's money into fun money.
Yeah, and you doubled God's money, didn't you?
Yeah, no, that's the fucking shit that I do.
Doubled it up.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm about, like, my shenanigans.
Why'd you get banned from the roulette tables?
Oh, okay, so when I was in Denver, there's like another Asian person at the table, and he placed like $40 on red. I play the same inside bet like every single time, so I know that like I'm making the same bet. So the marble hit red. That dude was playing 2 tables at one time, and so then like when the chips like came, I mean we were all like drinking and shit. So the dude like just confused me for the other Asian, and he just like took the chips and he was like.
Gave them to you?
He just gave them to me.
Oh, not your fault. That's the dealer's fault.
Exactly. So, but that's the whole. That once the dealer does that and says resume play, then
that's it.
That's it.
So they were pissed that they had to give the other guy the money when he was like, "Where's my chips at?"
Well, see, here's the thing. This is what I learned about small little like gambling like counties and towns, is that once you so what they're after is like, okay, option A, we just fire the roulette dealer.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be helpful for us because then we got to train another dude. Or we can go arrest this idiot, you know what I mean? Tag him with a misdemeanor, you know what I mean? Like tag him with a bunch of fines.
Like stealing wise?
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, I was accused of gambling fraud.
That's so crazy. It's not even your fault. Sometimes you're so drunk gambling, I wouldn't even know if you were giving my chips to someone else. Like I wouldn't even know sometimes. You know what I mean?
So here's the fucking aftermath of it. So like 2 hours later, I'm at another casino. 2 hours later, and they like the dude looks like Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad, and he fucking like it hits my number. I'm like, yes, I can raise my arms, and they just say, Aaron Coe, you're under arrest, and I'm just getting like carried away from the table. Well, there was a lot of like blast shootings that were going down, so I was also like drunk too, and I was just like screaming at like, I'm innocent. You all see that I'm innocent, and they're like, shut the fuck up, and you know what I mean, like, but like I just. In case I get shot. So then so they take me to back room and they're grilling me. and I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, because
like,
you didn't even realize they gave right.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
This is 2 hours later. I'm in a completely different mental zone. I'm just like.
And like 4 drinks later.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? Like, and then like by the end of it, they're just like, all right, fuck this dude. He doesn't know what the fuck happened. So they wrote me a summons, and I show up, and this case basically it was just like the video evidence for like the first like 6 months like wasn't there. So, but like my lawyer told me, like, Aaron, they don't throw these cases out.
It's so crazy.
Like,
yeah, because they have tons of lawyers.
Yeah, because they're just gonna drag this out. And so he's like, you have 2 options. You can say that you admitted to doing this crime, and they'll give you the highest misdemeanor. But if you stay clean for 6 months, and you you do 24 hours of community service, then they'll just wipe it off your record. Or you can just settle right now and have the lowest misdemeanor.
That's so crazy.
And I would guess what? I have to gamble again. So I'm just like, you know what?
6 months.
I'm gonna take the 6 months. Well, here's the thing. 6 months, that was easy, but I was paranoid because like, I already got in trouble for something that, you know what I mean, I didn't do. So it makes you like even more paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets to that point where, holy shit, like I couldn't do the community service. Because here's the thing, there's so many people that volunteer now. But they want volunteers, not people doing volunteering for community service hours for criminal activity.
Gotcha.
There's a big difference to them. To me, I'm just like help, you
Yeah.
know? So then like I talk to my supervisor and tell him what I do and shit. No one ever hears of people designing scissors and shit. So he's just like, you're kind of an unusual dude in this like weird situation. And he's like, do you write? And I was like, no. And then I paused and I was like, but yeah. And he's just like, so you write? I'm like, yeah, I write. And he's like, cool, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write like 15,000 like words about like, you know, your life, because like you seem to have this like really crazy life. And I'm like, okay, like when you need it by? He's like, next week. So 15,000 words is like 60 book pages. It's a lot of fucking words.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about like, how to even fucking write this thing. And he's like making it sound like, oh, we're gonna send it back and forth and revise it. It's like some sort of like fun little hobby for him that he's gonna like show the youth of like Colorado or whatever. Mm-hmm. I get brutally honest, and this is like, it was the best punishment ever because it was like really therapeutic, and I write about my life and shit. And like the first page literally just talks about how like my first girlfriend, like when I broke up with her, tried to commit suicide in front of me, and like just all this crazy shit like right off the bat. And he was just like, this is the most intense, wild, crazy thing that I've ever read in my life. I'm fucking hooked. Like, keep going. And so then I finished the rest of it. And then he was just like, wow, I had no idea that, like, that's what was gonna happen. Crazy. And so then, like, I've always wanted to write a book anyway, so I just like started into that. I just turned into that.
That's cool. I can't wait to read it.
I just started into that.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, it's called Scissors Me Timbers. The story of cutting loose.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good title. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, it's not a bad working title.
That's exciting. Very cool.
Fuck yeah. Congratulations on the shop and everything.
Congratulations to you, man. I really appreciate it.
So we're at Union Barbershop. Fuck, do you want to plug it? We're at Union Barbershop.
Yeah, I got Union Barbershop. It's in St. Louis, Missouri, in the heart of Soulard, which is like a pretty old part of town. It's the second biggest Mardi Gras in the country. It gets pretty wild around here. Yeah, this is the second, this whole area that you see.
What?
You should have, dude, if I just drove from the one side of Soulard to the other, I can't even get past. There's so many people drinking. They have like these stupid pedal, like machines where people are drinking and pedaling. I just drive.
Oh, those things.
So annoying. Anyway, I was like hell getting over here just because everyone's so wasted. It's like 1,000 bars in here. It's crazy. But we're Union Barbershop KF. We're Union Barbershop by Knife and Flag. Our partner, my partner is Knife and Flag, and I love those aprons and all that.
That's one other thing I wanted to talk to you about real quickly. Well, yeah, what's your affiliation with Knife and Flag? Because like I see that, dude, I see that shit everywhere.
Yeah, well, I like, you know,
everywhere.
Sean Botzel, who is, there's a couple guys, but he's my main dude, you know. He's the man behind it, I think.
They're mad respected in the industry.
Well, he's incredible, and he works really hard. He just is, and he's a tattooer, so it was like the same principle, like same thing barbering, tattooing. You just want to like wear your nice clothes and be able to go to dinner afterwards and not be just covered in mess, you know? So he created those knife and flag aprons. I actually just like cut his hair. Like my husband
Wait,
works,
how do you know?
Well, my husband works for him. That's actually kind of like why we moved out to St. Louis. He offered my husband a tattooing job. I was like, I'm gonna like go out there and kill barbering, right? It totally worked out. So they were buddies. I was cutting his hair. They gave me an apron to try out. I loved it. I did a photo shoot for Knife and Flag. Like, it just like was a good, solid relationship. And then it was time for me to open my own barbershop. Just in years of barbering and in the mass of my clientele, it was just time. We decided to do it together and be able to do something for 4,200 square foot big instead of just like 1,000 square foot big. So that's it. That's my partner. My friend, he's a super great dude.
Wait, is that your partner that co-owns this?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Me and Knife and Flag. Yeah, so that's it. So like, they do most of their business online, but we always can help you out with aprons. If you have questions, we all wear their aprons. That's like our family.
I didn't realize how big of a wide appeal they were. It's not just hair. It's like
everybody. It's
tattoo,
from bakers.
like
It's from architect to, I don't know, zoologists probably wear their aprons. Well, I did A to Z. You like that? Everyone wears their aprons. They're super cool. They're affordable. They last forever. I've literally had the same non-porous. I wear, for barbers, get the Knife and Flag non-porous, black non-porous apron. It's incredible.
I mean, just a
little plug there.
Just to throw it out there.
But knifeandflag.com, you can go look at everything. They're dropping 3 new colors next week for the non-porous apron. So the one that looks like leather, but it washes off. Everything washes off easy. You don't actually have to wash it; just wipes off. That's the brush camo. I like that one. I just got these kind of. You can like tailor these, so I got it really short, so it's like kind of sexy for a girl, like the length of a skirt,
Dude,
so,
I love this thing.
I have a dope one downstairs. It's like all
cut
off.
What's it called? Shake my crystal meth up at home and make it with and when it explodes, I'm all good.
Oh man, yeah, you need that non-porous one for that.
Oh,
So that's the story behind it, and I love it. I have the freedom to do what I need to do and have the support from a company that, like you said, is respected per aprons and keeping, putting good products out for barbers. So that's that.
Yeah,
I'm just meeting the right people at the right time and having the right passion, and someone had the trust in me. They had the trust in me to know that I could do it, So I did.
Yeah, you're proactive as fuck. I feel like anything that you fucking put your hands on.
Hard work, man. I don't take very many, people will tell you like, oh, I'm sure in the first year, I've learned a lot in the past year, but I also learned that you have to take care of yourself, because if you don't, you bring that to work and take that out on others as well, And for me, I thought, nothing's more important than this. I'm just gonna run myself into the ground. When I die, I'll take a day and then I'll come right back up. Which is a mistake. You have to take care of yourself. But the first year, I didn't stop. I didn't have a day off. I didn't have like an hour off. I was, I just wanted to make the dream come true. And I did do that.
Did you find it oddly addicting, like in a way?
I can't stop. Every day, I'm thinking of something new. I'm going out. We just got sponsored by a beer company. Like every day, I'm just trying to make this. I want everyone to know about this. Like I said, I want this to be the standard. Even if it's not as cool, if it's not as good as some other places, I know that as a standard, we're there. Like, we've created a culture. There's a good standard of what it should be, and I just want everyone to know what the standard should be. Unless you love a $10 15-minute haircut, then that's you. Everyone deserves to have what they like, but like, if you want a real traditional barbershop experience, don't accept any less than what you see here. Like,
no, and honestly, it is the future.
A standard,
because look at what's happened in the last 5 years.
It's incredible.
It's what everybody wants.
It's crazy. It's nice to not have to beg people. It's nice to not have to sit in my barber chair in front of people and just talk shit, because nobody will let me cut their hair. And they're literally like, I'm sorry, you're a girl, I'm not gonna let you cut. It's so rad to be like, I'm sorry, I can't cut your hair. I'm too fucking busy. Like, I just want to see, like, from 10 years ago till today, the conversation's so different. Instead of begging, it's now people begging me. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm very appreciative of all the hard work that all the barbers are doing to create that standard. Like, let's get rid of the cost cutters. Let's get rid of Famous Sam's. Like, you don't have a choice but to come to a good one. You're not allowed to go there anymore.
Yeah, you know, it's...
You go to a nice salon, you go to a nice barbershop, take care of yourself.
No, it's really refreshing to see like very like motivated and like empowered like women in the industry.
There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of people who are, no matter what your gender is, we're workaholics. You have you find lucky enough to find. That's the thing. Not everybody's lucky enough to find their passion. Like I had to get it shoved down my throat. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna barber. And I'm like I guess so. It's cool, you know.
Yeah, I had to fucking.
How lucky am I to find that?
Run away to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. So I guess if you're lucky enough to find your passion, you damn well better work hard for it. So you can make an impact. You know.
Yeah, for
help
sure.
other people.
I always feel a little, just about this weird every single time I think about it. Just thinking like, why the fuck did scissors find me?
Yeah.
You know?
I think that too sometimes. Like, how did I get so lucky to like to be able to do something that I absolutely dream of all night? The last thing I do is look at a video of hair, trying to figure out something that I can't quite figure out. The first thing I do is wake up thinking about who my first customer is. How am I going to talk him into not getting the same dumb fucking haircut he always gets? How am I going to talk him into letting me do something that I need to try so I can get better, you know? That's all I think about. And it's the same for all my barbers here, and it's the same for who's the next person that I'm gonna like take under my wing and train so that they can do better. It's like my kids, dude. I want these guys to do better than I've done, and in less time, you know. So I treat all my barbers here like we're all family, but they're my kids. I want them to do, you know. You have a kid?
I don't have a kid.
You always want your kids to do better than you. You always want them to have better than you have, you know? My mom always said that to me. I always wanted you guys just to have better than I have. My parents worked their asses off. And it's the same thing for my child and my barbers. I just want them to have, with less bullshit, less having to fight for it. I just want them to have better than I have, you know?
You know what's funny is like coming from an immigrant family, what my parents like really wanted me to have was like the type of freedom that they never had.
Mm-hmm. Better than they had.
Exactly.
Better.
Because they never got a chance to express themselves.
Yeah, they didn't want you to have to fight for something that should just be given to you.
Right.
None of us should have to fight to be free.
So if I was like, you know, even selling poop online for $50, but it made me happy.
They'd be happy for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what my mom says. I always ask my mom, "Are you proud of me yet?" Because I was a shithead. We did a bunch of bad shit real young, and always, you know, it took me a long time to grow up and figure out you can't just party your whole life away, you know. So I always ask my mom, like, "Are you proud of me?" Like every time I make an accomplishment, first person I always call is, you know, my husband, my mom. And she was always like, "Baby, I'm always proud of you. I've always been proud of you, but like I never think it's good enough. I always am like, no, you think you're proud of me, but just wait, you know." And I think that's a part of the reason why I do this. I just want to show her, like, make up for all the lost time from when I was 16 and how many nights she cried herself to sleep over me. I'm sure that was not the best, but that's it. You just want to help. I just want to help everyone. I hate when I get lots of DMs and stuff from barbers who are like, can you just help me? I just want to come on. You know, I can't have everyone shadow me and like teach everybody, but like I just want to help as many people as I can to just learn those basic techniques so that they can build for themselves their outline in the industry, you know?
Listen, I just want to help as many people as I can, just to like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, like, being like the most successful, the most well-known, like all that shit, like
Not important.
give two fucks about.
No,
Like,
you just want to help the people around you is very important.
yeah, it's just like I know that like everything that exists, you know what I mean? Like in, you know, the amount of greed that exists, it'll always be there.
Always.
You know, but like as for like me, I always just want to be, you know, authentically Moto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
You just have to be you.
when you've just been sick of just being like, you know what I mean, like in the same fucking trap over and over and over again, there is a dude that you can DM, there's a dude that you can call, he will pick up, send you shears in 2 days,
Yeah.
and
It's true.
yeah, and you don't owe him a single cent, you know, beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate that. I'll say we, as in everyone that you've helped or sent your shears to, because it's very sweet, you know? We really appreciate it.
Dude, you guys deserve it. You guys have been through so much weird shit. It's totally fucked up.
It is, I'm sure it's not as bad as some industries, but it's nice to have people watching you now, right? It's nice for people to care and to want to come.
You know what? I think that goes for everyone. It's
Yeah.
always nice, you know, when people start caring.
Yeah, it's nice when people, like what you do, right?
Yeah.
Most of us struggle our whole lives to make people like what we do, so it's very easy now.
Come here, you're the homie.
Cool, dude? Yeah!
Awesome.
It's so nice to meet
That
you.
was fucking great.
Cool, man.
Killed it.
I'm pumped.
Doom, 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 doom.